Bird's Eye View.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bird's Eye View. We have a very special episode today. Today being Father's Day, of course. We're going to bring the one person that has that title in my life. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, to all the fatherly figures out there. I hope you get some time, whether it's together or socially distanced or over Zoom, but to spend some time together and give yourself a hug in the way that it's possible, whether it's virtually or otherwise. I'm going to introduce Larry very early on in the show. I'm not going to spend too much time in introduction today, other than to acknowledge that my hair continues to get a little bit longer. I think there's more in the back and a little bit less in the front. I do want to bring Larry onto the show, though, now. Larry, welcome to Bird's Eye View.
Thank you very much, Kyle. It's great to be here. I feel honored that I'm being one of the guests on Bird's Eye View.
Well, I mean, it's Father's Day, so it wouldn't be right for anybody else to come on today. But also, I heard that you're a loyal watcher. So, number one, I'm happy that at least my father's watching this. That's good news.
It's true. It's true. I've been watching. I've seen every episode so far. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
All right. Sounds good. Well, we got some really, really difficult questions for you. I'm sure you can only imagine what we've got set up. Little fun contest for everybody, or fun game for everybody on the side. If you want to do a shot every time I say father, just let us know where we should replenish your bottle, and we'd be happy to do so. Dad, listen, it's Father's Day. It's obviously a special day, a little bit weird this year, a little bit different, and I even have some exciting personal news to share. But I just felt like it was right if the two of us addressed, something that's at the forefront of the news these days, the Black Lives Matter movement and everything that's happening there. You always raised me and even ran Skylar when you were running it in a way that was inclusive of everybody. And it could, have meant that somebody was black or white or male or female or gay or straight or whatever it was. I never really, I was always actually fairly proud of the diversity that Skylar had when you ran it and that has now that I'm running it. Is there anything that you really want to speak to about the Black Lives Matter movement and, particularly about your inclusivity and diversity over the years?
I think I've always tried to just get the person that could do the job. To me, that was the key. Whether it was a pressman or an artist, a creative artist, we did have a couple back in the day, and the people that I hired, wherever they were from, or didn't matter color or anything, I just wanted them to come and do the job.
Yeah, I think we heard Skylar being referred to as the UN, in some ways, and I'm aware that as a little bit of a badge of honor, right? Because we're not, we're not looking at surface value. We're looking at who you are as a person, who you are as a team member, whatever it may be. And I think that really the key, for Skylar moving forward is not just to, be colorblind, so to speak. I know that term has been thrown a lot lately, but really to actually, stand in solidarity with the Black community, provide opportunity in not just in employment, but also in leadership where necessary, and where deserved, right? I think that's the main thing. I think that if anybody deserves anything, they should get it. And I think we'll continue to take that approach to everything that we do and hopefully make some positive change in our own little circle, but that will in effect, larger societal change as well.
I agreed. And Kyle, I think you've taken over from where I left off in your hiring process. You are picking the people that can best do the job for you and for Skylar, and that's great.
Yeah. I mean, the last thing really at the end of the day, and it's kind of funny, but I don't want people like me. I want people different than me, and you're not going to find that by hiring people that look or act or sound like you, right? So yep. I guess just to close that off, then, I do want to, again, just reiterate our stance, Skylar's stance on the movement. We stand in solidarity. Everybody deserves basic human rights. We're happy to support our guests on Bird's Eye View. We actually offer to make a donation on their behalf to a cause of their choice. And in a lot of instances, Black Lives Matter has been the cause of choice right now. So we're very happy to, on behalf of our guests, contribute in that fashion. We hope to continue to do so. And we hope that people continue to bring ideas to the table where we make support, we can help cause change. Look, we're looking to make the world a better place. We look to do that through our creativity and through the execution of the things that we do from a work perspective. Well, you know what? I think it's time that we take some of those talents and those abilities and move them onto things that we can do in the real world outside of what we're doing for our clients. I look forward to any opportunities to do that. Please keep in touch with us as far as those things go. Moving on to the actual day in question. Today, again, being Father's Day. Dad, happy Father's Day. Thank you for being the father that you are and were and continue to be. Thank you for being the grandfather that you are now, 3 times over now. Exciting news that I had my second child, your third grandchild, just last week, not even 4 days ago. I think things are going well so far. I haven't skipped the country yet, partially because the borders are closed. But, I guess who better to ask about being a father than my father? What was it like being my father?
It was fun. And it was difficult. You tried me a few times, but we managed to get through it. I like to think that I raised you well, got you involved in things that kept your mind on sports primarily. I know I tried to get you to play piano, and the piano you played is right behind me here. He did very well, by the way, Kyle. You did very well on piano. But being a father to you and Alana, we had our sort of moments, but you and I were always at hockey or baseball or soccer or whatever. Alana and Mom were at dance and whatever they did. So, but there were times when we got together and we were a great family.
I thought. I remember that. I mean, there's certainly the male split and then the female split to a certain extent,
Yeah.
right? But I think I did my best to turn Alana into a little brother at some point, but that didn't work out very well. And also, you're about to be a grandfather 4 times over because she's expecting as well. So that's pretty awesome. So what's it like being a grandfather, as it would be compared to being a father?
Friends have told me, Larry, when you have grandchildren, you won't believe it. It's just an amazing feeling. It's great. It's different from your own children, and it is. Honestly, it is. The time you spend with the grandchildren is dedicated to the grandchildren. Not that it wasn't dedicated to your own children, but it's a different sort of dedication. That's all you're focused on when you're with those grandchildren.
Yeah, some of the other the obligations and distractions aren't necessarily there
that's
anymore.
Right. It's a beautiful thing.
And plus, you don't have to discipline them. You leave that up to us. So you just spoil the shit out of them and then leave them for us with sugar highs and stuff.
Well, that's the other thing friends told me, that you can spoil the hell out of them and then just leave them and you're going home and you're with their parents. So. Yeah,
it's awesome. That's why we don't invite you over anymore. It's nothing to do with COVID. Well, listen, again, it's Father's Day. Everybody at home, do another shot. You were an amazing father. You continue to be an amazing father. You taught me a lot. And probably most importantly, you taught me how to be a great father. And so while Aria's behavior doesn't always demonstrate the fact that I think I'm doing a good job of being her father, thank you. Thanks for all you taught me and continue.
Kyle, I'm glad to see that you are the father that you are, because I think you and Erica as parents are doing a great job. I'm so proud of you guys and my grandchildren that, hey, you can have more. Keep bringing them on.
Yeah, I'll have more. I'll need more grandparents to take care of them. Then that's the only problem. You can't add them. Shifting to the business side of things, I just want to ask you a couple quick questions. There's going to be people watching this who knew that Skylar once upon a time was First Class Graphics, and even before that, Minuteman Press, and they were, you were a printing company. You had a smaller business. It was, and it held its own. It did pretty well for a number of years. Big difference now, I guess, eh?
Oh, huge. I mean, yeah. Listen, you came along at the right time. I don't know if you remember the process. I had an opportunity to buy another printing company, which I went ahead with when you said, yeah, you would like to go along with me on this. You made that decision. So I said, okay. So we bought another printing company, expanded, turned it into a bigger printing company. But then as we grew on, I could see you were wanting to change things. And when we moved into the new building in Concord, there it was. We had some differences at times, and we did have some testy moments, but in the end, I realized the direction that the company should be heading, and you were taking it in the right direction, away from printing and into branding, a marketing, a media giant, really, in the industry.
I don't know about a giant. Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing was, at the time, I think the thing that really intrigued me was the opportunity to work with some of the clients that you were buying with that other company, and not so much the business in and of itself. And I think I recognize the opportunity there. And the thing I think that I'm proud of as well, not just in the people that we've brought on to help turn Skylar into what it is, but we've actually retained some of those clients just the way I was designing the entire plan around. Particularly Mercedes-Benz Canada, Electra. utilities, which once upon a time was Power Stream, which once upon a time was, before that was Richmond Hill Hydro. So, part of the whole plan was, let's take them and let's shift what we're doing for them. And we were able to do that. And I think that's a testament, again, not to just, our vision and the fact that we made these moves, but the people that helped us make them, or that really led the charge in making them in a lot of cases, because without them, none of it really happens, right?
That's right. Kyle, the key is my vision was long gone, but you had the vision of where this company was headed, and the people that you've hired. I'm telling you, I'm just so proud of what you've done with getting people in here to do the work that they're doing now. It's amazing. I just enjoy sitting back and watching.
Yeah, and I'm pretty proud of that as well. And I needed people to help with the people. So, it's part of that. Just to speak to your vision, we all know, you're getting a little bit older. Your vision's going. That last time I tried to pass you a 2-line pass over the middle of the ice, you just totally missed it. So, listen, I think it's fair to say that my vision's just better than yours, Listen, this year we're celebrating Father's Day a little bit different. Obviously, it's distance, and I'm sure we'll get out to play around, in a couple days or a couple weeks, I should say, where we can properly celebrate together. But times have been weird, and we're asking everybody, what do you have COVID stories related for us that you can tell us? So, what have you been up to and stuff like that?
Well, we've been up to a lot of gardening and house cleaning and moving photographs and digital and videos onto digital media. So that's one thing. Had a haircut. My wife gave me a haircut, which is good. The one thing, a funny story I can tell you is when this whole thing broke, you called us the day before we were supposed to leave for Victoria, BC with a couple of friends for a vacation. And you called and basically, roles reversed, said, you guys shouldn't be going to this trip. You guys really should stay home. This is coming down. It's going to be something very, very terrible. So stay home. Well, Mom and I thought about it. Anyway, we decided to go, and didn't work out. We came back in about 3 days. And I know Kyle wasn't very happy with us.
Yeah, I remember I was talking with Alana. We were away ourselves, and just itching to get back, and things were getting, drastically worse. I remember calling you and getting off the phone and turning to her and saying, okay, I think I made my point clear. I think they got it. They're pretty, two common sense people. They'll understand where I'm coming from, and they won't go. And then I woke up in the morning and you guys were already at the airport. And I just kind of looked at it and I said, well, I guess it's karma coming around, because that's probably exactly what I would have done to you 20 years ago or whatever, right? So it is what it is. Listen, you made it back safe. Everything's good. It's a funny story that we we can tell.
Yes.
It's certainly funny. It talks, really speaks to the circle of life, right? The way things work, and who needs to be advising or disciplining who as time goes, right?
You're right.
I want everybody to know that there was no bearing on the fact that my parents went to Victoria during a pandemic and us naming our daughter Victoria. They're completely unrelated things. Anyways, listen, Dad, I want to end this just by saying again, thank you. Thanks for trusting me with the business when probably that wasn't the easiest thing to do. Thanks for trusting me with, a lot, everything that goes hand in hand with the business, whether that's financially or emotionally or otherwise. It certainly was a test of our relationship sometimes, but we made it through it. I think it taught us what's really important at the end of the day. But, most of all, thanks again for teaching me how to be a good person, a good leader, an inclusive person, and a good father.
Well, thank you, Kyle. But I have to say, I'm very proud of you and the father that you have become, and the business owner and president of a company like Skylar. Listen, now that I look back, I made the right decision. Obviously, it's worked out great for you and for me and for the whole family. So thank you very much, and a happy Father's Day to you as well.
Thanks very much, Dad. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us today, everybody. Obviously, a very meaningful episode for me. Hope you guys all get a chance to spend time with your fathers or your fatherly figures. And if they're not with us anymore, please take a moment to remember them, because at the end of the day, the relationships that we have with family, but particularly our parents, is obviously one that's that we should all hold very special. I look forward to seeing you on the next Bird's Eye View. Take care. See you soon.
Bird's Eye View.